Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Homestaging Talk Show Live. I'm Jenny Norris, your host, and today is October, what's today? I think it's the 10th. Anyway, thank you all for joining in. Thank you. Got a great show for you today. So, just waiting for people to get on, and I have two guests they'll be sharing with us today. So I'm going to just text one of them here because he was on my other phone. I am live. So, okay, Hayden, you're there. Perfect. So, thank you all for tuning in. Homestaging Talk Show Live. You can see our little banner back here. Hello. Homestaging Talk Show Live is a weekly show brought to you by the International Association of Homestaging Professionals, on the banner there. And the goal of this show, we are in week, I believe this is our 33rd episode, which is hard to believe. So the goal of the show is to have conversations and discussions about topics of interest for the homestaging community, for those people that are in the industry, people thinking about getting in the industry, and people that might be in parallel industries that are curious and so forth. And, you know, building a business is building a business. We might have different target clients and processes, but our goals are the same, which is to be successful. So anything that we can share here that will help you achieve that, that's our goal. And those of you that are tuning in right now, if you could go ahead and share the segment with those onto your page, that will help us reach as many people as possible about staging and with this show. That's our goal. So before I get started with our guests, I'm really excited. I've got Hayden Yates, who is going to be talking about photography, and he's developed a course that he's going to have a workshop after our conference in Charlotte, and he's been sharing about that. But then we'll be rolling out a course that he'll be doing around the country live, and so we're going to learn about that. And then Kate, I'm sorry, I know I'm going to butcher your last name. I'm going to say Grunke, and you can correct me when you come on. She is Kate the Socialite, and so she does social media. And so some of you have received some of her postings. You'll see her posting on our social media pages, and she does a great job. So we're going to learn more about what she does and how she can help all of you and even me with our social media for our business, and even just talk about the importance of social media. So I'm very excited to have both of them on. Some quick announcements before we get started. This is the last week before conference, so I know Krista's on there because I see her little face. So, Kate, the one thing I don't see on you, I don't see a little camera by your head, which just tells me that I'm not going to be able to bring you on. So something with your Facebook settings, you're going to need to change to make sure that there's a little green video camera by your head. I just noticed, oh, there you are. Is that you again? Okay, good. The last tickets for our event, we're down to just a handful. We have some people that are not attending the dinner, and so they are leaving available seats for our dinner, which is really what the big limitation was. We could fit a limited number of people in the ballroom for dinner. So that's what we're doing. So if you are interested in still signing up for conference, and of course there's still time, definitely let us know. Krista will put the website down there. And so you can email us, call us, register yourself, whatever you need to do. When you register, make sure that you are getting your breakout sessions registered at the same time. We'll send you a link for you to be able to do that. So breakout sessions, those of you that are watching that have not selected yours yet, you have to do that, and you should have received an email on that. So next week is going to be a big week. High Point Market starts this coming weekend. So some of you are going to be journeying there, and that'll be super fun. If you missed last week's show, I wasn't able to get Joseph on the screen live for whatever reason. Facebook decided to be difficult. And so he just did a audio with my other phone, and so he explained some things that are going on. On Sunday, there is the informal HGTV Stars reunion, and they have the black carpet, I believe, starting right around 4:30ish. They're going to have interviews on the red carpet. They'll have limos that'll bring the stars up, and then they'll do interviews at 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. The stars will be meeting with each other. You know, they're colleagues, and a lot of them haven't seen each other in a while. So they'll have some private time in the Surya showroom, and then following that, they will open up the showroom to all the rest of us. And so we'll be able to go and There's no charge for this, but they do want you to register. So if you have not registered for the Red Carpet Informal Stars Reunion event, you need to go do that. And you can find that on Design Talk Live. And so it's DESIGN Talk Live. They have a page. Also Joseph Hecker, HAECKER, how you spell his last name. So you'll see the information there. And of course, Surya has it, I believe, on their page for High Point. So, but you do need to register, and it'll be fun. So take pictures with your favorite celeb, see other colleagues and so forth. So that's on Sunday. And then on Tuesday, of course, is our High Point Wholesale Experience. And we've been working very hard to get all that put together for you. So Krista has put a packet together. We'll have a tour of about 40-something people that are going down there, and we'll be meeting with our key vendors. So that's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to meet at 9 a.m. at the first location, and that'll be emailed to you if it hasn't already, Fazy. So those of you that didn't get your passes mailed to you, you need to get to High Point early, and we've sent you the information on all the locations where you can pick up your passes, and hopefully identified the one that is closest to where you need to be at 9 a.m. At 9 a.m. sharp, we're going to kick off with a session in Fazy, and as Krista says, please bring a copy of your resale license and business cards and your business license, because you'll need that. So even though we sent everything to the vendors that you sent us, you're still going to want to have that for potential identification and paperwork. So, and wear your good walking shoes, because there's a lot of walking, but super fun. So that's on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday is the kind of the prep for the conference for those people that are coming in a little early. So we'll be setting up and getting our registration bags together, and decoration committee will be putting centerpieces together. So it's going to be really fun. Those of you that are there, if you want to help out, just let us know. I'll be going live from the hotel next Wednesday. So I won't be doing a formal show with guests, but I will be going live from there just to kind of show you what's going on. So people that are there with me, I'll set my alarm on my phone, because I know I'll probably get sidetracked and be like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to go live. So that's going to be fun. And then, of course, Thursday our event kicks off. So we have our expo starting at 4:30. That's when registration begins. Doors will open. And so don't ask us to get in the ballroom before that. 4:30 is when we will start allowing people to access. Of course, you can line up before that if you want to get your registration tote bag and your badge and so forth. And then our expo goes from 4:30 until 9:30-ish. We'll be feeding you. So you're going to have some delicious food in the ballroom. There are cash bars that will be set up. We're going to have fun. So it's the big kickoff. And so it's like a party, a celebration. So we're going to have a DJ. We'll have a karaoke area. We were going to have a photo booth. And this is the Charlotte IHOSP chapter is doing those for us. So thank you, Charlotte IHOSP chapter. They are our host chapter. And we are grateful, very grateful for their support. I've been shipping a lot of things to some of the members there, boxes and so forth. And yes, Michelle, we could definitely use your help. So definitely come down Wednesday. We'll start working on these things probably around 9-ish. And definitely an extra set of hands would be helpful. So just show up and we'll put you to work. And so Thursday evening we'll wrap up. So make sure we're going to have a contest. You get around to all the booths. Then we'll do a drawing on Friday for the prize winner for people that did get that done. And then Friday we kick off at 9 a.m. sharp. So, you know, drink your coffee, get yourself in your seat. We've got a great lineup. Friday's going to be a great day. We have all of our morning speakers. We take a break in the afternoon. You go have lunch on your own. You get back quickly for your breakout sessions. And so those are going to go for the afternoon until 4 o'clock. And then at which point you'll go back to the big ballroom, and our Scott Brothers keynote speakers will be coming in. So that's going to be amazing. Just in that, you know, that session is going to be fabulous. And so really, really excited about what they're going to be sharing with us. We'll have a meet and greet and book signing, and then they will depart. Meanwhile, the rooms where the breakout sessions were happening are going to be turned into our ballroom formal dinner, our awards dinner. So they'll be furiously working on getting that done. And so the doors will open for the dinner at 7:30, but I think they're going to have a cash bar and stuff outside in the promenade. So those of you that are a little early, you won't just be standing around, looking at the carpet. So that's going to be really exciting. So we've got our awards dinner and our live auction. So we have some really wonderful donations that have been given to us. If you have anything else that you are watching this and you have something that you'd like to donate, a trip, you have a timeshare you're not using, a lot of people have come up with educational offerings, classes, coaching. So I'm super grateful for that. And we're going to raise some money for the iHosp Foundation. That's going to be really good. And then following that, we'll have our awards. So that's a full day. And then the next day, 9 a.m., we're going to start up again, and we get kicked off with Barb Schwartz, who will be our inspirational keynote speaker. And it's such a privilege to hear her share. Those of you that have never seen her live or just even seen her at all, you're in for a treat. So she is the founder of our association. She is the creator of the industry. So it's nice to be able to hear from her to kick off the day 2, Saturday. We have a whole lineup of great speakers for you, and we wrap up the day with another keynote speaker, which is Scott Hansen, and he is a business coach, has a podcast called Success Hackers, if you want to go look at that ahead of time, where he interviews different people, all different industries, and then talks about how they achieve their success and things that challenge areas and how they overcame them. So it's a really cool aspect. One thing that he's done, but he speaks and he has a coaching program, and so he hails from Chicago, and so we're very excited to have him joining us as well. So that is what is coming up. So we're furiously working on the final details. Thank you to everybody who has been helping out to do that, because it takes a village, that is for sure. So one last thing I wanted to say is Orlando Ray's, his GoFundMe is still ongoing. He was going to give me an update this week, so I will remind him for that, and I will post that on his GoFundMe page. And then those of you that have contributed, super grateful that you've done that for him. He's super appreciative. And those of you that are, don't know what I'm talking about, it's a staging colleague that has some health issues and has taken him out of his business in Florida, and he's in near Chicago. He's actually in Indiana with his sister, but he's getting treatment. And so while this is happening, he is obviously not able to run his business. And of course, health is the most important thing. And many of us are self-employed. You pay for your own health insurance or come out of pocket for it. And so you find yourself in a financial situation and just want to figure it out. And he did not ask us to do this for him, but, people need help. And so it was something that we just felt was the right thing to do. And so a GoFundMe page has been set up for him to help him with medical costs or, anything he needs to help keep his life on track. And so that's Orlando Reyes, Reyes. And I will post an update on him. And again, thank you to those who have donated. So with that, let's get to the show. All right, so Hayden, I think I have you up first. So you want to request to join. So all you got to do is on the bottom of your screen, you see the little icons. Look for the one that has the white head with the the white circle with the green head in it. You tap on that and it'll tell me that you want to come on the show. So just go ahead and tap on that. And then Kate, don't request to join yet, because you probably know this better than I do, because it's what you do. But it expires. The little link expires if I don't get to you right away. All right, so I'm approving you at Hayden. It's going to send you a request back. There you are. It says it's adding you. Boy, this is hopefully it's working. So it says it's adding, so my side is working. So let's just hope his where he is. So Hayden is going to talk about photography. And he is just a wonderful person, and you're going to feel that when you see him live here. Oh, come on. So Hayden, hopefully it worked on your side. That you got, oh good, it's connecting. So it just takes a little while. I got to be patient. There you are.
Yes.
Hey, good morning.
I'm a little bright here, it looks like. Now, do I turn my phone sideways or
horizontal? Yeah,
vertical?
It's horizontal.
Okay, good.
Yes, yeah, you're good. Okay. And then where your right hand
So
is,
how
that's
are
where the
you?
camera is. So your finger keeps, yeah, I'm good. So tell everybody who you are.
I'm Hayden, and I'm a stager. I'm also a photographer, and I'm located in Austin, Texas,
So
and
talk a little
right now
louder.
I'm I'm in the bowels of a movie studio right now, and it's a very secretive place. So
Oh,
I'm in a dark room that used to be used for it looks like it used to be a wardrobe department. So
wardrobe. So he's like,
I'm kind
he's
of in,
on set. So are you in?
I'm offset, but
You're
I'm
offset.
inside the studio.
So are you in Austin?
I am in Austin, yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. So I just was.
Okay, good, good, good.
So yeah. So you live in Austin. So tell me that where you live full time. That's where you're from.
I've been here. I've been here for almost 9 years. Actually, 9 years, close to 10 years. I came from originally came from before that from Hollywood and Long Beach because I worked in the film industry for close to. Well, I'm still working in the film industry actually for 30 years now. So that's where I got my start in the visual arts, and started as a PA, production assistant, and then I worked my way up or along the echelons of movie making, and then I made it into the production design, art direction aspect of filmmaking, which is very similar to staging in some ways or design in real estate. So it was a kind of a just about a year and a half ago when I took your class. It was
Yep.
sort of a nice segue into the real estate business. So and I'm enjoying every minute of it actually now. So it's great, and I have some great colleagues in Austin I work with. So it's been a wonderful trip.
Yeah. Well, I remember meeting you in Long Beach, and that was Kevin Tane's. I think it was his first official class. I came out to help him teach as a trainer. So it was so nice. Got to know you, and you're also. Have you lived in France, or you just speak fluent French?
No, well, both. I was born and raised in France originally as a child, and as a teenager, I mean, I moved around a lot, but I was mostly in Paris. That's where I'm from. I'm Parisian. So, I'm a city kid.
I want to
And,
say, like, I only know how to say a couple of things in French. I can say you like bonjour, and then from that song, which I the voulez-vous coucher avec moi, which I don't want to
oh,
say, right? If you guys don't know what that means, you can look it up. But that's from that song,
yeah,
Lady Marmalade,
yeah.
or
It just means good morning. Yeah,
exactly right. Does not. So, so you've been staging, and then you also been doing your photography. And tell people about your background as a teacher, as a teaching in college level, right?
yeah, yeah. It really began one day when it was suggested to me that I should just teach college, and I don't have a master's degree, so all of my experience is self-taught and learned in the industry. So photography was it was something I loved to do. I picked up a camera when I was 6, 7 years old, and never put it down since then. So I love taking photographs. I love capturing people. I love capturing landscapes, all that stuff. So I've always been in the visual arts, and but one day I was just finally coming to to a sort of change in my life, and I decided I'd apply to this college for because I heard that they were looking for a position, and it was the Art Institute of Austin was looking for a part-time teacher, and I just took a swipe at it, and the next day they called me up, and 6 years after that, I was teaching film production and video film, digital film, lighting, and all that for full time for 6 years. So I loved every second of it, and that's when I got my teaching experience. So I was in the film industry, and you really don't have a chance when you're in the film industry. You're working always full time. You're always on set. You're always running around all over town. So very few of us have really have the desire to do a degree in filmmaking to teach. So I was probably one of the few people that they still hired with a bachelor's degree and taught full time at that school. So I was so privileged. I felt so privileged to be in that position. And the best thing about that was the fact that uh, I was watching these people learn from me, and I was surprised how much I was able to convey and teach these young kids. And it was a wonderful experience to see myself grow into as a teacher and someone who can actually share my experience, my personal experience in the film industry as well as in the visual arts. So it was really a privilege. You can't learn that in school. You have to learn it through experience. And to this day, that's one of the reasons why I want to teach photography for stagers. And I started this class for anyway. That's
So,
how it all sort of evolved. Anyway,
Keely says the sound is a little muffled on you, so try to get closer to your,
okay.
or just, is that, so is anyone else having a
The
challenge
big
here?
nose right there.
Hello, I know. So, so Hayden was just talking about his background teaching. So he's teaching at a college in Austin, and really connected with the process of having the light bulb go on with the students, and you have that that is really enjoyable when you are able to impart even just one little piece of wisdom with them, and you see that changes their perspective or they're on their path and helps them succeed. It really is. It really is very rewarding. So, um, let's talk about photography. And so let's talk about your class that you are going to start rolling out and what you're doing in Charlotte on Sunday, which is the 21st. So he
Correct.
has a workshop, and it's a sort of a
Correct.
precursor to your overall class you're going to be doing.
Right. And so this is an introductory course on photography for stagers. And just sort of a little caveat is that I'm a stager, so when I go inside a room, when I walk into a house, I treat the room as if it was a canvas, and there's all these elements which include furniture, color, texture, lines. These are all aspects of parts, I guess you could say, of something a little bit bigger, which is called a composition. And we talk about composition in music. We talk about composition sort of loosely, but we really don't understand the real sort of fundamental aspects of what really composition is. And once you understand what composition is, then it becomes very easy to start looking at the world in that way. And a lot of us sort of, when we walk around thinking of things, and we're not really noticing the small things, the small details, and the small. But the stagers, people who are in the visual arts, have a tendency to see very minute details and catch things. And I know few of us are extremely good at finding dirt around a fan, or making sure the house the
Yeah.
house is clean. But there's also a great aspect of it is the fact that we have such a knack for detail that and that's what it takes to create a I don't want to say good composition, because good and bad is really sort of a misnomer when we talk about staging or even in the art. There's different reasons, and especially in film, because composition really is it's like a piece of music. You put notes together and you create a composition, and it's either going to be sad, or it's going to be happy, or it's going to create a different mood. And that's what your intent is. What kind of mood or what kind of effect that you're going to have on the audience, whether it's the owner, whether it's the people that are going to walk into the house, or people who are going to see the photograph. And so that's how I approach. You're kind of getting a sense of how I approach teaching. And the teaching. That's why I love teaching, because it's really a discussion. It's a conversation. So this particular class is the beginning of a conversation, especially in staging, because I think photography plays an more enormous role in staging
Absolutely.
for a number of reasons. One is it helps enhance portfolios, enhance the stager's presence in social media and in and in the real estate market as well. So it's one of those, and it also is something that you could look at and be proud of what the work you've done. You know, it's a record of what you've done, and also you could see, you know, the first time you've ever staged in your life. You see a photograph of that, and then you see something you staged 10 years from that point. You see the difference. You see the evolution of what you've done. So there's a lot of great things about photography.
Right, and there's a saying that I learned 16 years ago when I was trained by Barb, is that the eye of the camera doesn't lie. And so even though we are detail oriented as stagers, we're looking for those details. Sometimes we miss them, like that you know, I'll be standing in a room and then I'll go take the picture and then I'll look at the, you know, do this, by the way, people, with your cell phones, just to kind of see. And I'll look, oh my gosh, that pillow's crooked. And I look up, I'm like, well, it's crooked. And I don't see it until I see it in the camera, right? And so the eye of the camera doesn't lie. And the photos, not only for our work and to showcase the property, but for buyers looking online, that's their first introduction to the property. And you know, there's terrible pictures out there. I mean, there's sites and properties that are posted online with horrible pictures. They're dark, they're vertical, they're horizontal, and they're not hiring professionals. And I think it's a huge disservice to the whole process. And then as a stager, you and I were talking about this. So it's not only packaging the property for sale, but it's also learning how to take pictures, vignettes, like getting closer to some of the details that we provide and these different levels and angles. So is that kind of what you're going to be going over?
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's really what I'm going to be going over. It's not specific. I mean, it's so how to begin. It's so photography is there's so much to teach really, but for this class, I want people to come in, and the purpose of it is to walk away with something a valuable tool or a couple tools that they can use actually right away and use for their social media. So when they come out of the class, my goal is for them to start putting some really good material out on social media for their staging. For more of a portfolio work, that's when this is sort of an introduction to more detail and how to let's say, for instance, how to understand lighting, or how to understand composition in terms of placement and all of these things. So those things takes a little training, and that's why my classes, you know, people have asked me, oh, why don't you do an online course? And I could, but there's 10,000 other people who are doing online courses, and I think I would. It's not really something that I necessarily enjoy. Now, there's an application for online courses where we could actually work in groups online. That would be interesting, and I'd like to develop that. But really, my intent is to actually have a class that's experiential, where people are actually interacting with each other as a group. So for me to travel there on you know, in different places, whether it's Charlotte, North Carolina, or Denver, Colorado, or you know, Las Vegas, that's not a problem. I love to just meet, you know, with a group. And the group, and this is what I was telling a colleague yesterday, a group setting for a student, your learning experience is exponentially faster. In other words, you're learning more faster at an exponential rate when you are with a group, because you get to see everybody else's work and you get to see everybody else's take on things and evolution. So, but if you're doing a sort of a one-on-one kind of thing, you're still going to learn something, but you're not going to learn it as fast, as quickly.
Mm-hmm.
As a group, you can learn a lot by just watching different, you know,
It's very true.
and processes that are going on in the group, and you have this feedback, this constant feedback. So I've obviously know that because I taught in a situation like that, and it worked. It worked, and you know, you would have a student that's very quiet and sitting in the corner, and then you'd have this, you know, the person that's sitting in front always, you know, raising their hand and saying, you know, pick me. But when you bring them into a group, you bring that guy in the corner, and you bring that other guy who's always in front, you bring them together and you will have them work together, and you actually have an amazing, an amazing work, uh, uh, sort of like a lab of
Right.
creativity that happens right in front of you. So that's what I enjoy. So that's my goal is to have these classes all over the United States.
So his workshop on Sunday, so Tatiana's putting it up there, is the 21st from 1:15 to 4:15. Is there is space limited? How would people sign up? And then secondly, what we're going to do is we're going to build a landing page for his class because he just sent me the flyer and you just had to swap out one logo. Did you get my email on that?
I did,
Okay, perfect.
and I'll send you
The
the
revision.
revision.
Okay,
Yes.
so we'll have that on there, and then we'll have some details about his class. And what we need you guys to do that are watching, and you can spread the word and so forth, is to let us know that you're interested, because that's going to dictate where he goes. He's going to say, okay, there's a lot of interest in, you know, Chicago, so I'm going to go there. There's a bunch of people who have said yes, we'd like you to come. So that's how we're going to help him know where to travel around the country versus him going someplace and saying, well, where is everybody? So we're going to do that for him. And then the link to sign up, Tatiana's putting it up there. So is it, I know you're doing this at a property. So is there limited space?
There is limited seating, but if we get more than enough, we can move up to a bigger room. So
Okay.
that's not really an. So yes, there is limited seating, but if it gets so big, then the bigger the merrier. It'll be fun.
Right. So those of you that are still in town, we have our advanced stager training day that day. So unfortunately, there's a lot of people that won't be able to attend. But this is not like a one and done. So, and
No,
what is the investment for the course?
there's a 15% discount for members of IHAF, and if you register, if it's 275, I believe, for members, and 325 for non-members
Wow,
for a
that's a
3 hour
that's
class.
really yeah, that's really generous. So you said 75 or 175 for members?
275
Oh, 275.
for 275 for
Okay.
members,
Okay.
and
I'm glad I clarified.
325
Well, because I thought you
325 for
said,
non-members.
that's why I paused. I thought you said 75 for members and then 375. I was like, wow. So it's 275, which is that's more reasonable. 275 for IHOS members and also recent members,
Right.
and then 375 for people that are not members of either of those associations. So,
Correct. For both associations, right.
right.
IRESA and IHAP. Correct.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Well, how exciting. So he'll be at the conference. And did you see this show last week? Were you watching?
Yes.
So, we talked about maybe doing creating shows about staging, like real staging, going around the country and doing things. And so I didn't know you had that big film background, production and all
Oh,
that. So,
yeah.
I might be calling you because that's something that's still not, I would like to do something like that. Have it doesn't even have to be like through a network initially, but we'll have sponsors. Like this show is going to start attracting sponsors. We'll be reaching out to people who want to be part of Homestaging Talk Show Live and be able to use that to get more exposure for staging. And one of the things I think is missing that's on television and being shown today is really what goes into staging, because it really isn't shown. And so, you have that natural background, and so that's good. I'm going to tuck that little nugget away in my head. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
so they can find out more. So you have the link for the class, and then we're going to do the landing page for the site, and then anything you want to put on that website, that we'll
Okay.
create for you. You just let me know. There'll
Thank
be a
you.
landing
Thank you.
page, leads that'll populate, and so forth. So, Hayden you're such a kind-hearted person, and I feel like, and you are, you just seem very genuine. And I know, of course, I've met him in person a couple of times, but hopefully you guys can feel he's very warm, and I can tell you care about people, and you're very,
I do. I do, and that's one of the thing is about this class is I'm not doing it, and I'm not just saying this because I was just talking to Tatiana, who's been really helpful here in North Carolina. So I want to, give a shout out to Tatiana for really sort of being an angel and being supportive of this endeavor that we're doing. And but I wanted to say that, you know, one of the reasons why I thought this class would be really valuable, I think, is because, you know, it empowers us to be a little bit more visual, and, you know, learning composition, for instance, you know, just in that one little frame that you see right here. You can, once you understand the basics of composition, you can learn it in a three-dimensional space as well. So I think it'll definitely empower the stager in a way in which they can, you know, their staging will be a lot more dynamic, I guess, and more evocative when somebody walks into a room. So, and, you know, sometimes we do things intuitively, but sometimes we need to understand what those elements and how those elements actually work.
The why.
And once you understand that, you get more confidence. And I think that's the goal for me, is to bring more confidence into our field, into our domain, because we're so beaten down by the realtors and, you know, people saying, well, we don't need a stager, we can do it ourselves, or, you know. And I think we need to just, you know, I think we need to build up that confidence. And I think, you know, knowing photography and the way I teach it, you'll understand it. It's not, it feels intimidating because all these buttons and all these f-stops and all of that stuff. But after you walked out of my class, it'll be so easy.
And you even have it where people can, you know, using their smartphones, their cell phones that have a good camera, being able to do this. So you don't have to go buy an expensive digital camera. You know, if you have one, that's great, but you'll be able to use your cell phones as long as they have a good camera. So, well, I'm excited, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in Charlotte for sure. It's gonna be really fun. Glad you guys are coming. You and Joel will be rolling in. Are you coming in Wednesday?
Wednesday, I'll be coming in late, very late. Probably, I think my flight comes in at midnight, so I should be at the hotel by, 1 o'clock in the morning, I guess.
And there probably will be people hanging out because there's for all of you that are coming, there's a beautiful kind of lounge area. As you enter the hotel, the registration desks are on the right, and on the left, there's, you know, it's kind of a step up, but there's this big open area with couches and chairs and a bar. And I don't think they had a piano. I'm trying to remember if they had a piano or not. But anyway, there probably will be people whose time clock, you know, that might be on, you know, West Coast time, and it's only, you know, 11 o'clock for them or 10. So they will probably still be up. But yeah, it'll be fun.
I'm so excited. I got to tell you, I'm so excited to being with everyone and meeting everyone and people I haven't met yet. And I can't wait to see you and John. That's great. This is going to be a treat.
Well, I'm really excited for this class because this is something that, you know, we want to be able to add education just in general. Always keep learning. And so as an association, be able to have somebody who has an expert background and a different take on it with the hands-on approach, I think that's going to be really valuable. And I've come around because I first was encouraging you to do the webinar because they don't require as much expenses, but now I get it that you want to have that hands-on. So we're going to help you with that. And so those of you that want to, again, those of you that want to learn more, Tatiana would put the link up again just to be safe for people to register. So it's $275 for the workshop on Sunday afternoon for IHOSP members and RISA members, and then $375 regular price. And you're gonna
$325, I believe, is the non-member.
All right. Well, it's probably on the site. I think you said it was $100 off. So I think
Check the site.
Check online. All right, Hayden. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, you get to leave the dungeon now.
Okay.
Thank you. See you in Charlotte. All right. Bye. All right. So thank you, Tatiana, for putting that up. And hey, so those of you that are in the area, you don't even have to be coming to conference. You know,
it's on Sunday, October 21st. And then he's going to be doing these around the country. This is just his first foray into, you know, working with our industry professionals and crafting something that will be specific for staging, how it can help us in our business. So really super excited about that and what's going to come down the road with his other sessions. The other classes he'll teach will be, I think, several days. He was talking about like a 3-day course that he's going to be teaching around the country. So it'll be more than, you know, a few $100, but it's going to be worth it and really getting that experience. And then should you decide to really add it to your own business, you know, maybe you really enjoy photography, but you don't feel as skilled. That's something then that you can actually have as a value added service, that maybe you take the photographs and are providing those to the realtor, which saves them a step. So, you know, be thinking about how you can, you know, add to that. All right. So Kate, go ahead and request to join. Kate is watching. And Kate, as I shared before, her company is Kate the Socialite. So we're going to hear from Kate. Approve. Add. All right. Operated today, so I can speak words. I've been up very, very late for the last couple of weeks, and it's been challenging, but just lots to do. So Kate, you disappeared. I don't know what happened to you. So try coming in again. This is you up here. Let's see if I can do it this way. Add. So I'm from your little round circle. What is that? It's not your icon. It's your headshot, the little teeny picture. So hopefully it's adding her. All right. So I'm excited to hear what Kate has to say. I have one question I want to ask her. I had emailed her some news that came out this week. Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm just trying to get my phone back in my little stand here. Okay, perfect.
And I've had that happen where they go flying out.
Yeah, yeah.
So let everybody know who you are.
Yeah, so I am Kate the Socialite, and you did pronounce my last name correctly, so thank you.
Oh, I did.
It is.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's my married name. It's a weird German last name, but yes. So I go by Kate the Socialite. It's easier to spell. So I specialize in helping home stagers and interior designers market their businesses, and I do that in a variety of ways. If you go to katethesocialite.com, I've got it all there. I'm not going to bore you guys with a list of everything that I do, but today I know we are focusing specifically on social media, and that is something that I have just been like up to my eyeballs in for the past few years. And it is such a fast changing industry. It's something that I've seen create a lot of anxiety in my home staging clients because they don't know where they should be on social media. They don't know what they should post. They're not sure what the whole point is. And I have heard so many people say, well, maybe I should just not do any social media because I feel like, you know, it's not giving me a return on investment. So my job is either to have my team manage that social media for them, or give them the content, or provide the instruction they need so they can do it themselves. Because much like what Hayden said, and that's why I really admire him, so I'm glad that I was able to meet him today, is he's trying to empower the home stager to do whatever they would like to do themselves. Not that they have to, but if they choose to, I think that is awesome. So that's my goal as well.
Right. And so, you know, social media, so it really kind of, let's see, Facebook launched, what was it, 2008-ish?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and before that was MySpace. A lot of kids had that. And so remember when Facebook came on, I remember creating a profile and connecting and finding family members. Mm-hmm. And then you realize, you know, you can use it to get exposure for your business. And so it's the world's largest social media platform. But one of the things I realized, and so I want to ask you about Google Plus, so we'll get to that. Facebook, I think, is great engagement within its own platform. Mm-hmm. But, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, people that are searching online for business people aren't going to find your Facebook pages because it's within the platform. Is that correct?
So I'm glad that you mention it, because when you're setting up your Facebook profile or your business page, you can actually decide whether or not that shows up in Google search results. And I suggest always making sure that it does. Maybe not your personal profile, but at least
right.
Your business page.
So how do people do that? So I know most people, you want your page to be public, first of all. So since your page is public, you know, you're not posting things about, you know, you're getting a haircut or your dog. It should be about, you know, your business.
and making sure that it's whatever you put out there is public so anybody can find it. So make sure that anything you put out there isn't going to be something that's going to come back to bite you in the rear. So how do
Yes.
they, right? So on their profile, just as simple as give them a little tip. So they have their business page in the settings, they would have it as public, and then there's there a separate place they need to go to post things to Google to be found.
So that would also be under settings. So you
Okay.
would just need to go into the general settings or business information and then toggle the switch that says allow this to show up in search results. Because a lot of people don't know that posting regularly on a social media platform, even if it's just one platform, does a lot to organically boost your search engine optimization or your SEO.
Right. So Google Plus, which they started their platform like their stupid circles. It was supposed to be like Facebook, and it was dumb. Nobody did it.
Yep. Yep.
But when I used to use Picasa to manage my pictures. That was a Google product. Then they got rid of that. Then they were
Mhm.
sucking all the pictures into Google Plus profile. And that actually really benefited people that you probably didn't realize that all my pictures were being posted publicly, but it was all about the hashtagging. So I
Mhm.
really grew in their organic search results. I moved way up and I had I had over like 2 million views of my profile publicly. Well, just this week, Google announced that they'd had somebody hack into that particular application, and so they're shutting it down. They're not even.
Mhm.
I'm like, why don't you just fix it? So I don't understand why. I think part of it is they just want to get rid of it because the circle side of it was kind of dumb. Is there
Mhm.
something else they're replacing it with? Because I know I rely on that hugely for my business.
Yeah, so they're shutting the consumer side of Google Plus down over the next 10 months. And that means they're still going to keep Picasa and they're still going to keep like the social streams. So it's only people that you're friends with from one like Gmail account to another. You guys will be
Okay.
able to see each other's posts, but everything else will be going away. And it's concerning to me because for my brand and for my clients' brands, we have been able to get so much awesome organic SEO, meaning we did not place an ad, we did not
Right.
pay for it. Because if you think about it, it's you get to feed information about your business directly into the mouth of Google. And even though the interaction rates on Google Plus were very low, and the circles thing, I agree, they're dumb. It actually had a lot of other benefits. So now that
Right.
it's going away. They're breaking apart a few little features and keeping those, but they were already on the fence about Google Plus because I was reading on the Google blog this morning. They were saying, this did not take off the way we had hoped it would. And
Right.
so they know when to quit. And they then when the privacy breach happened, Google cares so much about our privacy, and that's one reason why I respect them so much. They're just this giant company, but they care so much about the end user. So now they're like, with this not working and with this data breach, we're just gonna stop. And that means that people like you and I who have been using this for SEO will have to find alternatives. And I do have some suggestions for people who are looking for those alternatives.
Yeah, and it's funny because the breach happened a long time ago. It wasn't like I think they said it was like March or
Yeah, and
something.
it wasn't even a big deal because they
No.
said that the applications or the people behind the applications that were accessing that system, nobody abused the data they then had access to. They found no abuse complaints. There was no problem. So that was awesome. It says a lot of good about the Google community. But because of that, they're just like, this is not worth the risk and it's not worth the investment to fix.
I think, and even though that's part of it, I think that they have something hopefully that they're going to roll out. But I bet it's about money because of course they want
Mhm.
you to place ads, right?
Mhm.
And I certainly have benefited from the SEO organic search results. I don't pay. I've never paid for site optimization, and I show up
Yeah.
always in the top 10. I have, and that's wonderful. And so I've been super happy about that. So I think that they realize that's happening, and they're going to try to capture some revenue from people like me and other people that
Mhm.
are have been using it. So what are some of the alternative options?
Yeah, so the first one would be to assess where you're at right now. So for everybody watching who they're like, I'm not sure if I even have good SEO, I'm not sure what that is, head over to websitegrader.com and put in your web address. You'll have to also put in your email address, but they're not going to spam you. And this tool is put out by a very reputable company. They actually teach people how to be marketers and such. And it'll give you a report card on your website and it will tell you where it's not really meeting the standards. And from there, you either address those issues yourself or you find a website designer or a developer who can do that for you. The other thing you would need to do is consider blogging twice a month. That's every other week. I
Mm-hmm.
know a lot of people are stressed out by blogging, but it doesn't have to take you hours and hours. You know, I often tell people if you can write 500 words and have one good image, you're going to be okay. But the thing is, if you're not constantly updating your website, after a few months of no new blog posts, Google will start to put your site lower and lower because it thinks it's abandoned. And it
Right.
also will start to think you're no longer in business. And those are two things that we as business owners do not want Google to think. The other thing you can do is choose one or two other social platforms and be active on them a couple times a week, whether it's Instagram or Facebook. And like we said earlier, especially when you're posting on Facebook, that does have a positive impact on your SEO. It will make you come up in search results. So I know a lot of people get frustrated with Facebook because it's like you've got to pay if you want anyone to see what you post. But there is still a lot of value there, even if you don't boost a post.
Right. And then, and of course, Facebook bought Instagram. So Instagram, I
Mhm.
noticed, people always ask about what's the deal with hashtags? Like, what does the hashtag even do? Where does it go? Like if
Mhm.
you click on a hashtag, I was watching a comedian, so it was something about cats. He was had this whole shtick on that, but he said he looked at the hashtag and clicked on it, and then it took him to a place where it showed pictures, probably. So
Yep.
is that on Twitter? Where does the hashtag go? Because I've always wondered. I hashtags, that to me, those are meta tags, keywords people are typing in, like home stage or your city, And then if you have that
Mhm.
hashtag you've been using, that should help you show up. And that was the benefit of Google Plus. But
Yes.
and just in general, what is the deal with hashtags? Because Instagram, it's not just like hashtag stager, hashtag home, hashtag property. It's like hashtag outside enjoying the fall, hashtag I'm with my cat. I mean, they put all these different,
Yes.
what does that
Yes.
do?
Okay, so the whole point of a hashtag is to categorize your content or to make it show up in a feed that your ideal client happens to be looking at. So, as a home stager, if you're trying to reach realtors, investors, and builders, you'll need to use hashtags those people would naturally be searching for. So, maybe they're looking for investment tips, maybe they're looking for real estate education, maybe they're looking for the home staging tips. And it's important to include, 25 to 30 hashtags on each Instagram image because you'll get at least 3 times the amount of engagement on that. And I mean, engagement, like comments and likes and follows, that's not the end all be all of social media. It's just step one in a much longer sales funnel, but it helps you reach the right people so that when those people get to your website, they're the ones that will dial your number and book a staging consultation versus adding to your bounce rate by coming to your website and then leaving because they were never a good
Right.
fit for you in the first place.
Yep. Chobi is Ziegler's watching. If there's that you can't hear because there's something wrong with your audio settings on your phone. So I'm sorry that you're not able to hear the segment. These are always saved, Chobi. So once you get that fixed, I save the videos. They're on the Home Staging Talk Show page, and I also have a website. There's no way we can write it down because we're talking too quickly. So you'll have to just watch it another time. But I just wanted to address your issue. All right. So 25 to 30 hashtags, and
Mhm.
so talk to me also about when somebody blends two hashtags together, like they say, home, instead of saying hashtag home, hashtag staging, they go hashtag
Mhm.
home staging. Does that pull apart? Does somebody have to put the blended word in to find, or does it automatically know home staging? I've always wondered that.
Yep. So I need to address something before I can answer that
Sure.
question because some people make up their own hashtags and some people even use their business name as a hashtag. So like superior home staging, and that's a name I made up, so I'm not picking on anyone in particular. But if you said hashtag superior home staging, who is searching for that? Probably
Right.
nobody. So so I've seen a lot of people take that, and interior designers do this too, and it's just because they don't quite understand how they work. So when it comes to, you can say staging or home staging or staging cells or staging works, what you can do is go into the search feature of Instagram, type in that hashtag, and then see how many posts are using that. Because if there are only like 300 posts using that hashtag, you'll know that people aren't using it, they're not searching for it, it's not going to be worth your while. But if you see there's, 500,000, then that's going to be better. But then the opposite is also true. If there are 1.2 million posts out there that use that hashtag, that means it's way too saturated and you could use it, but it's your post will
Everybody else is
probably
too.
it'll be buried. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is where a lot of home stagers tell me, well, now you're giving me more anxiety because now I have to sit down and research all 25 to 30 hashtags and I feel it. I hear you. And that's why part of my job is researching hashtags. And I've got a marketing tool platform for home stagers where I include all the hashtags they need for each social media post I create for them so that they don't have to do the research. It's already been done. But if you want to do it on your own, that is how you go about it. And there are certain hashtags that will be trending at a certain time. And if you want to use those, that's fine. But they do not always trend. So you have to keep an eye on that.
Right. And so I totally agree. I think people in the industry, realtors, stagers, there's, a certain age group that they've been on social media. It's like natural for them. However,
Mm-hmm.
even when they get productive, their businesses grow. There's people I think are afraid of social media because they don't know what to do. Then they'll say, I don't have time, which is true. And we
Mm-hmm.
only have 24 hours in the day. So Kate's company, for those of you that are watching, first of all, you have to be on social media. That's just a no-brainer. In this industry, it's not going away. You're missing out if you're not have a presence because it does help bring you business, and
Mm-hmm.
it's it's not hard to do. It does take time though. So if you don't have the time, then you would want to connect with Kate because she talked a little bit about curating content for blogs, so she can curate content specifically for your posts. Now, do you take if somebody sends you pictures of a project they did, you would be able to take that and generate content specific for theirs, and then you have obviously probably scheduled posts that are going to go out,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a service she offers. She
Mm-hmm.
also could do your blogs for you, and the one thing I would ask is the blog posts that you write, are they going to be unique for the people that hire you? And the reason I ask that is because a lot of realtors have, I'll just use Keller Williams, my husband's a KW agent. They have that same article, so I get it like 15 times because that happened to be the article of the month from KW. So all the realtors
Mm-hmm.
send it out.
Yep.
And that then waters it down. It's not special. So, how do
Mm-hmm.
you do your blog content?
So I actually don't write blog posts, and that's because they require an enormous amount of time. But I do have a friend who specializes in blogging for the home industry. So if anyone is interested, you can still contact me and I'll put you in touch with her. But as far as the things that I do offer, the social media posts, lead magnets, email newsletters, just anything that you need for your digital marketing. And my marketing platform for home stagers is called Socialite Vault. So you go to socialitevault.com, you can get a 14-day free trial. Um, I am in the works of potentially adding blog post templates to that. So because I get asked that question a lot, and it is a service I used to offer, but in order to do it right, you either need to have a darn good template to follow or you need to have a lot of time. And there's a
Right.
strategy behind it for SEO, and you need to have good photos. And so there's a lot that goes into it. But I don't want that to intimidate anyone, which is why I say if you can write at least 500 words, you're going to be fine. You'll be okay. So hopefully that answers your question. But if anyone is interested, I do have a resource.
So, you mentioned, so lead magnet. Tell people what is a
Mhm.
lead magnet?
Yes. So a lead magnet is something that you give people for free so that you can get their email address and you can get them added to your mailing list. And a lot of people get confused because they think the number of social media followers they have is far more important than the number of people on their mailing list, when really the opposite is true. Because social media is changing every day. You could lose your followers in a split second. You don't own them, it's rented territory. But when it comes to your website and your mailing list, you own that and nobody can take it away from you. But you can't just add people willy-nilly without their permission. So if you are a home stager and you want to grow your mailing list, you're reaching out to those builders, investors, and so forth, you can create a like 1 to 3 or even 6 page PDF that's kind of like a little magazine. And it's like, well, actually, I was working on one today, and it's all about maximizing your return on your real estate investment. So that reaches out to those investors, but it talks about home staging and how you can sell a home far above listing price just because you're bringing the right vibe to the home. And we know there's a science behind what home stagers do. And it's also important to present the statistical side of home staging because real estate agents are all about the numbers. They're not just about those beautifully staged spaces. So I create those lead magnets in Socialite Vault, and you can go in there, grab them, customize it in any imaginable way so that it matches your brand. And then you have something that you can hand out to people or give them digitally. It makes you look really professional in addition to growing your mailing list.
And then on that, is there like the call to action, like you'd like for more content or things like this, you know, put your email in here so they can continue to receive. So you're giving them something of value, and then in return, you're going to get their email address. So it's a win-win.
Exactly. It is. And yes, that call to action is in the last page of every lead magnet. And it is typically, call such and such number to book a staging consultation because that's the end of the sales funnel. Once you have somebody who has opened an email from you or opened a document from you, you have got them. And now their job is to call you.
Right. So I think a lot of people miss because I did marketing before I ever became a home stager, and that was always the thing. Like you want to have the call to action with any marketing piece. So whether it's call now to schedule your consultation or use this code and save 10% or whatever it is, you have something that's going to compel the person to act, and then you can capture their information. So you have different packages for people to subscribe to, correct?
Yes,
So
I do.
Quick breakdown of your different offerings.
Sure. So my entry-level package is $25 a month, and it is for people who only want social media posts. And that means there's the image, there's a professional caption, and those 25 to 30 hashtags that you use if you post on Instagram. If you're posting on Facebook, only use a couple hashtags, otherwise Facebook will consider that spammy. And then, so that's all included for 25 a month, and that's unlimited. So there are hundreds and hundreds of posts in there to choose from. That prevents overlap, and I've never had an issue with that. And then the next package is $149 a month, and it is the most popular package. It includes everything. It includes unlimited newsletters, unlimited social media posts, lead magnets, Facebook ads, Instagram ads. And if you run into an issue with your marketing, you've got access to a private Facebook group. I'm in there all the time. You can ask me directly. And that is my way of trying to support home stagers in any way possible, at the highest level possible, without charging an arm and a leg. Because I feel like so many of us pay so much for marketing, but that marketing never gives us a return on investment. So when I saw that huge need in the industry, I was like, well, how can I make my services more affordable without decreasing the quality? So that's when I created the Vault. Now, the last package is just like the one I just mentioned, except it comes with a lot more hands-on one-on-one service where my team actually customizes and sends your email newsletter for you, whether it's every 2 weeks or every 4 weeks. And then our response times are even faster for you for anything that you might need, including managing your mailing list, getting you moved over to MailChimp, really anything, like getting it set up on your website so people can get your lead magnet, opt in, and then automatically get emails from you. We try to make it easy.
And how much is that package monthly?
That one is $169. But
it's like $20 a month.
What was that?
it's only $20 more and you get all that other, right.
Right. So every package has a 14-day free trial just so that you can go in and look at the content, see if it's a good fit. And if you don't see something that's exactly what you want, there is a feature that allows you to immediately chat with someone on my team and request something specific. So if you were hoping for a different type of social media post or a different type of newsletter or lead magnet, I want you to tell us because I'll go create it and then add it to the membership.
So it's, listening to the pricing, it's very, very reasonable for what you're getting. And so those people that have been like, not engaging on social media or saying, I'm just going to do it myself, and then you're not because you don't know what to put out there, or you just, you get distracted, you don't have the time. We all know time is it's the great equalizer. Everybody has the same amount of time. So that's very reasonable. And to be able to have somebody that is going to be getting these things out there, getting you exposure for this, I think it's very reasonable rate. Hopefully you guys agree too for our industry. So you do this for stagers, designers. Do you work with realtors as well at all?
I don't. I have gotten requests for it, and I may branch out in the future, but I feel like there is just so much more that I can do for the design and staging community that is all I serve. And I'm familiar with realtors. My mom is a real estate agent, so I have that inside scoop of, okay, this is what they want to see, and this is how we can deliver it. Because your marketing is not at all about your business, it's about your ideal client, and you have to speak their language.
Right. And I appreciate that you're keeping it with staging design because the real estate industry, there's so many people that provide what you do to realtors. And so to have yours that's really customized for our industry is really wonderful. So thank you for doing that. People are asking, how do they sign up? So do you want to tell us your website again?
Yeah, just go to socialitevault.com, vault just like a bank vault, or you can go to katethesocialite.com and it's under my services tab as well.
So Socialite Vault, VAULT.com, or katethesocialite.com, and then you can look for under her services. And she's, a partner with us with Staged Homes and iHosp, and so we're grateful for that. And you've been posting. She on our different pages. She does post updates and really great articles and information. So go there and just do it. Just make the decision because, $150, you guys, or 160. I mean, people pay more for makeup than that. Or that's, they'll go buy Starbucks. That's half a month of Starbucks every. You know what I mean? It's just, and this is going to benefit your business. So Michelle Getty's asking about what about web design? Do you do any of that?
I do so much web design and I have a team behind me. So it's not just me over here trying to scramble and get all this done. There's no way I could do that. But yes, my team and I design over 30 websites a year, again, just for designers, stagers, and window treatment workrooms. So we follow a very specific formula for every website. So even though it's tailored to each client, we want to make sure that it acts as a sales tool for you. It shouldn't just be something that looks pretty. It's so much more than that. And we take a very direct approach. And I actually have a waiting list for websites. So if anyone is interested in that, you can go to katethesocialite.com, click on the contact page. You can get on the waiting list there.
Perfect. Well, it's so nice to meet you on Facebook Live. And thank you for being a partner of ours and for working for the industry as well, just in general. So go to her website, katethesocialite.com. The socialitevault.com is the access for the services she offers, the different packages. And go get yourself signed up. It'll just take a load off your mind. It's almost like when you can delegate and have somebody that's doing the work for you that is going to be quality, that's just one less thing. You can just take it off your list, take it off your plate. And that time that you would be spending, I'm use that word on purpose, trying to figure it all out, which could be hours, you get frustrated, then you don't do anything. They handle all of that for you. So that's awesome. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for having me on. It's such an honor.
Yeah, you're welcome. And so everybody go to her website and we'll have you again on in the future. I'd love to have you back on.
Awesome. Yeah, I love that too. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. All right, let's see. Trying to click. Okay, there we go. Okay, so thanks everybody for watching. So again, next week we are going to be coming to you live from the Westin in Charlotte, where we'll be furiously setting up for our big event.
And it's supposed to be level. So I tried to demo it at the master's course in Boston, and the thing was vibrating and doing all these wacky things. So I got to learn how to use it. But that'll be the goal. You're going to see a lot of different people that'll be there. So the following week, we're going to come back, and I'm hoping to have Christy Barnett on to talk about the psychology of staging with colors and people and so forth. We'll kind of take two different approaches to it. And so I'm confirming that with her. If she's not able to be on that week, we'll have some other fabulous guest. So anyway, for those of you that are coming to conference, I'll see you in Charlotte in about a week. And the rest of you guys, you have a great rest of your week. Be productive and, just enjoy wherever you are. And also, I just want to put a shout out to the people that are in the hurricane's path in Florida and the Gulf region. Be safe. So things are not worth risking your life. So make sure you get to safety if should you be told to evacuate. So our hearts are going out to you. I hope there's minimal damage to those areas. All right, everybody. That's it for now. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll be back next week with another segment. Thanks so much. Bye.